And just bring your hands to your knees or to the floor behind you so you feel nice and supported. Take a few deep breaths. Actually, just take normal breaths. In and out through your nose. And feel that expansion of your lungs. Fine, if they're open, that's great too. Your eyes if they were shut. Bring one hand to the top of each knee if it's not already. And we're just going to do a couple seated cat-cow. So in a position where your feet are comfortable, sit up nice and tall. And then as you're ready, you're going to stretch your arms back around your back. Bring your chin towards your chest. And then tilt your pelvis forward. Bring your torso towards your thighs. Bend your elbows. Lift your head. And just keep moving like this. Just sort of nice and slow, feeling all the feels as you move up and down the length of your spine. Time your belly is towards your thighs, stay upright and just sort of take a nice tall spine. And you're going to leave your legs bent. You can walk them to a place that feels comfortable. Take your arms out in front of you. Press your feet into the floor really nice and strong. And then slowly come to lying on your back. Take your arms up and overhead. Reach out your fingers and then bring your arms up towards the sky again. Press into your feet and lift back up. Reaching forward and then drawing your shoulders back over your hips. And then slowly coming back down. Arms come up. And then take the arms straight up to the sky. Come back up. And then come back. And then slowly lower back down. Arms reach up towards the sky. And then lift your torso up. Slowly come back down. Now, if this is good for you, stay here. If you'd like, you can take your legs long. Okay. Press your heels into the floor. Thumb side of the hand presses into the floor. And then lift your arms up, straight out of the shoulders, pressing the heels into the floor. Come to sit. Sit up tall. Slowly come back down. Okay. Knees bent or legs straight, whatever works better for you right now. Lift the arms up. Press the heels down, slowly come up, reach forward, sit up tall, and come back down. Couple more times. At whatever speed works well for you. When you're upright, reach out for your toes, plant your hands somewhere that feels okay to you, and just reach forward. Your feet flexed, you might feel something different on the back of your legs, and maybe that works for you and maybe it doesn't. So think about or play with different positions of your foot or feet and see what that does for you. And then slowly walk your hands back towards your hips to sit upright. Bring your arms straight out of the shoulders. And one more time, we're going down. We're going to stay down this time. Reach your arms up and overhead. Point your toes. Give yourself a nice long body stretch here. And then bring your right knee into your chest. And if that's not feeling good on your left hip, you can bend your left foot and bend your left knee and place the foot on the floor, or keep the left leg long. And then you're just going to make circles with that right knee. So take it around. To do circles the other way. Maybe it's not. Just think about what feels good to you. Back into your chest. Take your hands behind the thigh and interlace your fingers, and then extend that right heel towards the sky. You can press the thigh into your hands and the hands back into the thigh. Feel the stretch in the front of the ankle maybe, and then flex the foot again. And just move your foot, move your ankle a couple times, however feels right to you. Sort of feeling out maybe some snap, crackle, pops in there. Your foot. Keep it pointed. You're going to release the tension between your hand and your thigh and take your arms out. You can take them out into a T-pose or anything that feels okay to you. And then you're just going to start to make little circles with your leg. Sort of rolling that leg around in the hip socket. And then if you'd like, you can, gradually make bigger circles. Space you have allows, or your body feels like doing. Bring that right heel back up to the sky. Bend the left knee and place the foot on the floor. And then the left leg is going to join the right one. And then nice and slowly, you're going to take those legs together halfway down. And hold it here as you press your low belly and your low back down into the floor. Legs all the way down. Reach your arms up and overhead. Point your toes. Give yourself a nice long body stretch here. And then bring that left knee in. And hug it into a place that feels okay. Start making circles with the left knee. And then maybe explore the other direction. Back, bring it in. Hands behind your left thigh and extend the left heel to the sky, pressing the hands into the thigh and the thigh back into the hands. Try spreading the toes as wide as they'll go. And flex and roll your ankle, whatever feels good here. Loosening up the joints in the foot and the ankle. And point the foot. Release that tension between your hands and the thigh and take your arms out. Maybe somewhere different this time. Maybe it feels good to bend at the elbows or wherever feels okay to you. And then start making little circles. And then gradually make those circles bigger. Again, thinking about how it feels in your hip and in your leg and how it feels with respect to all the obstacles in your room. Feeling this. Maybe it's in your abdominals. Maybe you're getting a foot cramp, and if you get a foot cramp, go ahead and take care of that. Slowly winding up, smaller circles. Press out through the left heel with the leg straight up in the sky. Bend the right knee and place the foot on the floor, and then right leg joins the left. Take the hands anywhere that feels supportive to you. So sometimes if it bothers your low back, it's good to sit on your hands, but wherever works well for you, lower those legs halfway down. And hold it here and breathe. Come all the way down. Take your right leg out to the right corner of your mat, the left leg out to the left corner, right arm to the right corner, left arm to the left corner. Extend your fingers and spread your toes, and then make fists with your fingers and your toes. And then extend them out again. And then scrunch them up real tight. And one more time, spread them really, really wide. And then scrunch them up. And then lower your arms to your side. Draw your legs together. Bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. And just sort of rock your head from side to side. The back of your head as it moves across the floor. Any sort of kinky spots in your neck that might bother you. And just sort of slowly move in and out of those. And then come back to a nice spot on the back of your head. And draw both knees into your chest. The top of each knee. And slowly begin to separate those knees really wide. And then draw those knees back together. Wide. And draw them back together. And this time, just the left leg out to the side. And draw it back in. And then just the right side. And draw it in. One more to each side. Left. Both nice and wide. Drawing your knees towards your underarms as much as they'll go. And then you're just going to tip your pelvis forward. So your legs might move away from you and your arms might extend out. But you may get a little arch in your low back too. Just notice what's happening, then tip your pelvis backwards, flattening your low back against the mat, drawing those knees in a little more. And then just keep rocking forward and back nice and slowly. Noticing how it changes, if at all, when you move. Knees are in towards your underarms, draw them back together. And then set your feet on the floor. And then you're going to walk your feet a little bit wider apart. Okay, mat width apart. Hands anywhere that feels good. Then you're going to take your left knee and just sort of allow it to fall in, keeping that right knee up towards the sky. Rolling to the inside of the left foot, and then draw the left knee back up. And then that left knee comes back in. Back up. And then lower it down one more time. Lift it up. And then this time as it's down, you're just going to sort of allow it, gravity, to draw it down towards the floor. Your left cheek is not exactly flush on the floor, but the right cheek is pressing down. And then slowly lift that left knee back up. Walk your feet in, just sort of heel toe their way back in. And draw that left knee into your chest. And then you're going to draw that left knee out to the side. You're either going to hold on to the back of the left leg, or your left hand is going to reach over and grab the outside edge of the left foot. And then maybe your arm can come to the inside of the knee. You're going to draw the left foot and the knee down towards the floor as you press the left foot back up into the hand. It's like a half happy baby pose. And just sort of noticing how this feels on the hamstrings and in the hips, and maybe if you move that knee or the foot around, it changes it for you. So sort of explore a little motion there. Arm up beside your ear, reaching out the right fingertips, feeling a stretch in the right side of the body. And then go ahead and bend the right elbow, taking the hand behind the head. And you're going to draw that left heel in towards, just bend the knee, bringing the heel in towards you. Keep holding onto that foot or the back of the thigh. And as you're ready, you're going to press your head into your hands and then lift your torso, bring your right elbow towards your foot. And then slowly lower back down. And we'll do a few more like that. So moving at a speed that works well for you. Taking the time, noticing what's happening in your body as you move in this sort of probably weird way for you. You go up we're just gonna hold it there. So as you're ready, coming up, drawing that right elbow towards the left foot. And then slowly lower your torso down. Hug that left, release your hand from the foot, hug the left knee into your chest, and set the left foot on the floor. Just sort of noticing if the left hip feels different than the right. And then you're going to heel toe your feet out, about mat width apart again. Snuggle your shoulder blades towards your spine. Press your low belly and low back flat into the mat. And then you're going to lift your hips. And then from here, you're going to roll to the outer edges of your feet. See if you can lift your hips any higher. And then slowly lower your hips back down to the floor. Place your feet flat on the floor. We're going to keep doing that a few times if that feels okay to you. If it bothers your ankles to roll out to the outer edges of your feet, just stay flat on your feet. But as you're ready, press up. If you like, roll to the outer edges of your feet. And then slowly bring your hips down to the floor. Feet come flat. Pressing up. Outer edges of the feet if you like. Lower the hips back down. Feet come flat. Last one, we're going to press up. Roll to the outer edges of your feet and hold it here a few breaths. And then slowly lower down. Place your feet flat on the floor. Extend your legs long. Give yourself a nice long body stretch if that feels good. Maybe scrunch up your fingers and your toes and then spread them wide again. And then lower your arms to your sides. Bend your knees. Place your feet on the floor. And we're going to bring that right knee into the chest. Actually, we're going to put that right foot back down. Forgot to do the little waggle with the feet. So take your feet, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and then walk your feet about mat width apart. And then you're going to lower that right knee in towards the middle, and then lift it back up. And just move at your own pace, noticing what you feel as you roll to the inner edge of the right foot and lower that right knee down. And then the next time that right knee is down towards the middle, sort of allow it to hang and work with gravity. Notice if you're feeling it, where you're feeling it. And then slowly draw that right knee back up. Walk your feet in. Now bring that right knee into your chest. Draw that right knee out to the side and either hold on to the back of the thigh, the knee, or reaching around to grab the outer edge of the right foot and then stack the ankle on top of the knee as you come into a half happy baby on this side. Okay. Drawing down with the right hand and pressing up with the right foot. Trying to keep your hip pretty level on the ground. Now it's going to be a little weird, right, because you've got the one leg lifted. But trying as much as you can to draw that left side down and then drawing that right knee down. And then take the left arm up beside the left ear, reach back behind you, feeling that stretch down the left arm and into the left side of the body maybe. And then bending at the elbow, take the left hand behind the head. Draw the right heel in as you bend the knee. Holding on, still holding on to that foot. Pressing your head into your hands. You're going to lift your chest, bring the left elbow towards the right heel. And then slowly lower back down. And keep moving like this. Maybe you notice different things on this side. Maybe not. And then the next time your elbow is towards your heel, hold it there, a few breaths. Pressing the head back into the hands, trying to take some strain out of the neck. And then slowly lower your torso down. Hug that right knee into your chest. Sit the foot to the floor, about mat width apart. Arms down by your side, snuggle those shoulder blades in. And this time we're going to do the same thing we did before, but we're going to do it in the opposite way. So if it did bother your ankles the first time, probably avoid that same action on this time. But if your ankles were okay, roll to the outer edge of your ankles and then press into the outer edges of your feet. Lift your hips. Draw those knees and the feet to center and then lower your hips back down. Okay? Keep moving like that, rolling to the outer edges of the feet if you like, lifting the hips, and then drawing everything in to come back down. Couple more times. And then this time, as you come up, hold it here if that works okay for you. Maybe you feel your glutes firing. And then draw the knees to center, lower the hips down. Bring those knees into your chest. And then bring your forehead to your knees. And then we're going to work on rocking up to sit, but you're going to balance on your sit bones without touching your feet to the floor. Okay? So as you're ready, sort of roll up to sitting. See if you can balance on your sit bones and then take your shins parallel. Maybe you can extend your legs, and maybe that doesn't work, so you bend them again. But find a spot to hang out. And then bend at the knees, cross at the ankles, take your hands to the floor and come into a tabletop position or onto all fours. And then you're going to shift your knees back a couple inches, flip your toes, press into your hands really strong, lift your knees, lift your hips up and back, and find your way into a downward facing dog. Pressing into your hands, shifting your hips high, lowering the heels as far down to the floor as they'll go. They may not ever touch, and that's mostly because of anatomy, so don't worry about getting those heels to touch. And then you're going to look between your hands, and you're going to take your right knee behind the right wrist and bring that right shin close to parallel. And then you're going to draw that left knee up to the right foot. And then you can adjust your sit as you need. You're going to take your right hand behind you, and that left hand is going to come to your right knee. I'm going to turn away from you. So rotate towards your right. And if that right hand needs a more comfortable place to hang out, go ahead and find that. And you can allow that left hip to come off the floor. Finding a twist here. And you're going to take your left hand off your right knee and bring it over towards your left knee. And then you're going to make a big rainbow arc with your left hand. So as you're ready, you're going to lift that left arm up and over, and then you're going to take it towards the back. And then follow your fingertips with your gaze as you lift that left arm back up. And then bring that left arm down towards the left knee. And then lift the left arm up and over, reaching back, and then lifting up. And the left arm comes forward. And we'll just do one more like that, getting that range of motion in that left shoulder. And then this time you're going to hold it as you reach back. Maybe that left hand finds its way towards the floor, or maybe it reaches up higher, or just play with the position of that arm and see if there's anything more interesting to you here. And then as you're ready, take that left arm back to the left knee. Slowly rotate to center. And you're going to take, if it works for you, if your hips are allowing it today, you're going to take that left knee so that it's at about a 90-degree angle with your torso, and so your shin is parallel towards the long side of your mat, and that right shin stays parallel with the short side of your mat. So you've got like 90-90s with your legs. Okay. And then you're going to bring your fingertips to the floor, maybe to either side of that right leg. Okay. And as you're ready, you're going to begin to hinge forward over that right leg. And then slowly come back up. And we're just going to do that a couple times. And then maybe on the last one, you can hover your fingers off the floor. Press that left foot down and come back up. And then rotate back towards the long side of your mat. Lift your knees up, and we're going to windshield wiper them side to side a few times. And then next time both knees are over to the left, we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So starting with the left shin parallel, and then draw that right knee up towards the left foot. Readjust your sit bones as you like. Left hand comes behind you, right hand to the left knee, and then rotating towards your left as I turn away from you. Okay? Take that left hand somewhere that feels okay in this twist. And then taking that right hand back towards the right knee, you're going to take that right arm up and overhead and reach back. And then following your fingertips with your gaze, right arm reaches up and back towards the right knee. And just keep moving like that a couple times. And then this time as your hand goes over, maybe play with the placement of the right hand. You can move it out to the side, further back, up and down, maybe make circles. Just sort of exploring that shoulder and the reach and how that feels in the back. And then as you're ready, right arm reaches up back towards the right knee. Rotate around towards that left shin. Okay, and then if it works for you on this side, you're going to take that right thigh out to the 90-degree angle. The left shin's at a 90-degree angle. Fingertips to the floor to either side of that left leg. And then you're going to begin to hinge forward. And slowly come up. A few times. And then on this last one, if you like, hover the fingers. See if that changes things for you. Really press into that right foot as you come up. Bring your hands back to the floor. Windshield wiper those knees side to side a few times. And then you're going to take your legs nice and long. I'll scooch back. And you can take your hands back behind you. You're going to rotate both feet to your left. And then center. And then over to the right. And then just keep rolling your feet from side to side. And then bring your toes to center. Take your arms out into a T. Okay, palms towards me. And then you're going to take your right thumb down towards the ground. So your right palm is facing back behind you. You're going to take both toes over to the left. And then as you bring both toes over to the right, you're going to switch your hands out. So the left hand faces back and the right hand faces forward. And then over to the left, right palm back. Over to the right, rotate the shoulders. Over to the left. Over to the right, over to the left, last time, over to the right. And then both fingers and toes back to where we started. Lower your arms, bring your knees in, and then come to lying on your back. Slowly lower down. Find somewhere comfortable that feels good for you. If you like to keep your knees bent, or if you want to take your legs long. We're just going to stay here for a minute. Closing your eyes if that feels good, or just find something on the ceiling to stare at. And just think about your breath. Notice it as it enters, a little cool, fills the nose, down into the top of the chest, into the middle of the chest, allowing your belly to softly expand. And then on the exhale, your belly softens. Your chest hollows a bit. It comes out the top of your chest and then out your nose. And just keep following that path of your breath. slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll your wrists and ankles. Whatever movement helps you feel like you're gonna wake up. You can even stretch your body in a way that'll feel good. And when you're ready, however it suits you, slowly find your way back up into a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a treat. Hope to see you soon.
All right, thank you, Allison. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll keep this going as long as you guys are enjoying it. So